Welcome to Big Dog Talk Sports. This is your boy Big Dog, and it's the NFL season Week 10 wrap-up for the 2022 season. Let's get into it. Alright man, so after losing 5 games in a row, the Green Bay Packers managed to get a win over the Dallas Cowboys in overtime, 31-28. The Packers rookie wide receiver by the way, Christian Watson, 4 catches, 107 yards, 3 touchdowns. And these were his first 3 touchdowns of his pro career. And he had the game-tying touchdown with about 2.5 minutes left in regulation to get the game in overtime. And overtime, the Packers defense was able to keep the Cowboys off the scoreboard. Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones, they was able to get Green Bay in the field goal range. They set it up for kicker Mason Crosby to make the game-winning field goal from 28 yards out. So the Indianapolis Colts, they beat the Las Vegas Raiders on the road, 25-20. Jonathan Taylor rushed for 147 yards and a touchdown. There was a lot of controversy about the Colts hiring Jeff Saturday with no experience, but he's 1-0 right now. Had Matt Ryan out there playing well. Of course, it's only been 1 game, but let's see if Jeff Saturday can turn this Colts season around and get them to where we pretty much expect them to be division champions, or at least fighting for it. Let's see how Jeff Saturday can turn it around in Indianapolis. Alright man, the Monday night game just ended. The Philadelphia Eagles, they lost to the Washington Commanders 32-21. The 72 Dolphins and their fans could bring out the champagne glasses. There's no more undefeated teams left this season. Washington's defense came to play. They forced 3 fumbles, and they also got an interception, and that was by safety Derek Foster. Washington dominated the ball. The time of possession was pretty much double the Eagles. Washington nearly had 40.5 minutes of the ball. Philadelphia had about 19.5 minutes. The Eagles caught their first L. They're 8-1. Washington, they're now 5-5. Let's bring it back to Sunday night. The 49ers faced the Chargers at home and won 22-16. The 49ers brought back a lot of key players. Wide receivers Deebo Samuels, Juwan Jennings, at fullback Kyle Juszczyk, linebacker Drayton Greenlaw, amongst others. The Chargers, they're suffering through a lot of injuries themselves. They lost their top 3 or 4 wide receivers. They still came out fighting, but in the second half, it was all San Francisco straight pounding the ball. With Elijah Mitchell, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuels, they were just too physical for their Chargers team. San Francisco won this game 22-16. They are now 5-4, and when healthy, they look like one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC. Alright, so the Miami Dolphins, they pretty much walked through the Cleveland Browns 39-17. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, he had 285 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, hit 8 different targets, utilized all his weapons. 2 former 49er running backs, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., combined for 184 yards, 2 touchdowns on 7.4 yards per carry. Miami is now 7-3 on the season. It's about time to have that Tua Tagovailoa talk. Him being mentioned in the MVP race for sure. And finally, the big dog game of the week, the Minnesota Vikings at Buffalo. The Vikings won this game in overtime, 33-30. I expected a good game, but I didn't expect it to be this good. This was a great game, not even just good, it was a great game. And the big dog player of the week for NFL Week 10 is Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson. This man was spectacular. 10 catches, 193 yards, 1 touchdown. And not to mention, man, Justin Jefferson, this guy had probably the greatest catch I ever seen in a football game. If it's not number 1, it's not far behind. This dude caught the ball. It was 4th down to 18, and it was a 32-yard pass from Kirk Cousins. Defender all over him. Defender had 2 hands on the ball. Justin Jefferson jumped up with 1 hand and tussled with it in the air while falling backwards. Managed to come down with the ball clean to advance the chains. And this is probably the greatest catch I've ever seen. I'm gonna try to put this in the description box just for those who haven't seen it. And man, this was a great game, man. Buffalo, they was up by 10, 27-17. The Vikings scored 2 touchdowns, one off a 3-yard touchdown run from their fullback. The other one was off a fumble recovery. Josh Allen, he was able to get them boys down the field in 36 seconds to get a game-time field goal to send in overtime. The Vikings, they was able to drop the ball down the field 60 yards in overtime. They kicker Greg Joseph, he scored it with a 33-yard field goal. Buffalo tried to win the game, got picked off. Patrick Peterson picked them off twice, actually. It sealed the deal for the Vikings, 33-3 in overtime. I'm not too surprised Minnesota won, but if I would put money on it, I was going with Buffalo all the way. Buffalo falls to 6-3. Minnesota, they're 8-1 right now. That's the end of the Week 10 NFL wrap-up. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Big Dog out.